How you doing?
Back at it again.
Here we are. Different scenery for me.
Same old scenery
Same
for me.
scenery for you. How you doing? How's that hot New York summer treating ya?
You know, it's been steamy, but okay, I will say this. It's been an interesting revelation. I currently live on the first floor, which has many a drawback. One of the pros, though, is that it does not get nearly as hot as the higher units because we don't get that direct sunlight.
Living in a dark closet,
Cave,
a
if
dark
you will,
cave, has its
keeps things cool in the summer months. So that's a W.
big dubs, and you're close to the park, so
yeah, close to the
dubs.
park. I've been really loving the longer days, especially if you're working all throughout the day. It's so nice. You can leave your house at 7 and you still can enjoy the vibes, hanging out outside, just a cooler time of day to be outside. So I really like that. I also I feel like there's so many free things going on and just park vibes, stoop vibes. So I'm just trying to take advantage of all of that.
We love that. Sounds fab.
That's right. How you doing? How you settling back into your regular routine?
It's last week I wasn't bummed, but this week I'm a little depressed to be back, to be honest. Just the realities of car life. It's really hot right now in Colorado. Yeah, it's an
adjustment.
Showbiz right now, but it does give one something to strive for of what a scenario may be in the future that could be something to go for. But yeah, I mean, it is nice to be in our house and yeah, yeah, that's about it.
I mean, I think, vacation is like such an interesting thing, right? Because there's a lot of anticipation, then you actually do it. And then sometimes you have that longing feeling of, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. And yet a lot of times those vacations are not something that can be real life. So yeah. I don't know. I find that to be a hard balance.
I also feel like we weren't necessarily just on vacation. Like we were in Spain for 5 weeks. 4 of those weeks, I would argue, weren't really vacation. We were living a normal life. And that's what I miss. The last week that we did vacation where we literally were playing tourists and touring around and beaching, that gets old super fast for me. But living in Spain, I guess, basically.
And that's why maybe this is extra hard than just a vacation, because you're not like, oh, we were relaxing and having fun. That's cool. And now that's not anymore. It's more like, oh, we were maybe testing out what a version of a life could be like. And then you're like, that's not life.
I'm back in the US where things are a little less appealing to me.
A little cray-cray, but so it goes.
So it goes. We did go to the farmer's market here and it's been lovely. So there are some perks to summer. And like you said, the days are long, which is amazing. And I'm just enjoying that vibe a bit.
Yeah, that's good. Well, welcome back, folks. We are back at it with another episode of Message in a Bottle.
Yes.
For anyone who's new here, I am Paloma.
And I'm Pilar.
2 sisters, 2 best friends, making a pod, opening up our world a little bit, the stories that we tell each other, which we were calling Message in a Bottle, these little glimpses of into our lives, into the things that we're experiencing day to day that we kind of share with each other. We're now exploring bringing those to our audience through our podcast. So thanks for listening in, and let's dive right in.
Let's dive in. Paloma's coming to you from New York. I am in Colorado, but recently off of a 5-week trip to Spain. So little context of where we are in the world. I would love to start us off with our newish segment, Not So Rapid Fire, if that works for you.
Let's do it.
All right. Tell me about your current food/bevy fixation.
My food fixation right now are iced cortados.
Ooh, sounds fire.
The perfect summer coffee order for a couple of reasons. A, we cannot be out here paying $7, $8 every time I go out for coffee. So I have to have something that's iced and delicious to get excited about that is not the cost of a meal out.
How much is an iced cortado market value in NYC right now?
I would say it ranges from $5 to $6.
Okay. Life
So
hack. That's
it's
good.
doable. It's
That's
doable.
legit.
Depending. Yes. So, and the other thing that's dope about it is it's not too much liquid.
Yeah. Yeah. So many iced lattes or anything milky has way too much milk or too much liquid in general.
I don't even like lattes. That shit's gross to me.
Yeah.
And then so it's a win for that reason. And the other thing about summer beverages is that is going to melt.
Yeah.
So fast. So it's like, it's a
Condensation.
drink that you're like, boom, I'm getting my caffeine. I'm having my little treat. But and also sometimes you're just like, I can't be carrying this around all day.
Yeah.
Just
And
cumbersome.
when you're out and about, having to pee is a real thing. So it's kind of nice to just like have a smaller volume and you're not sending this gigantic. Yeah. I think that's fantastic.
So I'm fixated on it mostly for those other fringe benefits.
But it's tasty as well.
It is. It is. It's like fun and fresh because I don't like often get that. So that's my food fixation.
Love.
You?
Cherries.
Oof. What
so
kind?
Good.
The Rainier, or what are the deeper red ones called?
I don't know, but I like them all. It's giving Pacha. It's giving Mood Project. It's giving both European summer and American summer. So like it's crossed over on everything because we had great ones in Spain, but also got some at the farmers market this weekend that were 10 out of 10, fantastic, locally Colorado grown in the Palisades. There's this place called Palisade where they grow a lot of peaches, but they also grow a lot of cherries. So we had
stone fruits for the win over there.
Yes. So we had the Rainier ones, and then we had some other ones that were red Rainiers, and then we had the deep red ones. So I've just been obsessed with cherries. They're delightful. I love the way they look. I love the way they taste.
What is it about cherries that are so cheeky?
Such a good question you bring up. They're so damn cheeky and so fucking cute.
Right?
I took a picture on the beach, like just holding the little cherries with like people in the background. I don't know. There's something sexy and cheeky about them, isn't there? Is it because they like kind of dangle?
Or is it like the
cute,
way
like,
that you like can put your lip around the whole thing?
Yeah, take a little bite.
Is it the way that you can tie the little the stem?
The string? Yeah, they're some sort of cutesy little fruit, aren't they?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe that's part of why you're feeling in some type of way.
Yeah, it's got a vibe.
They're not just sweet and delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Also.
Yeah, I've only just been eating the cherry itself, but I think it could be Cherry Girl Summer where we're adding it to our matcha. We're baking with it. We're making little cherry scones. What else could we add cherry to?
It's true. I feel like cherry is not like a fruit flavor that is as pervasive as like the strawberry. Mm-hmm. And for what it's worth, though, I also love cherries. Recently, I've been adding them to my morning smoothies.
There you go.
They're really sweet. So it kind of counterbalances like the more bitter flavor of like the blueberries that I add in there.
I like that application.
It's fire.
Noted.
Recommend.
Love.
But I do like the idea of maybe a cherry matcha. So maybe a cherry syrup.
Yeah.
So we could both play around with one and maybe make homemade cherry limeades.
Oh, cherry limeade. Now that sounds incredible. Yeah.
Summer throwback.
Mm-hmm. Very Sonic, very like soda shop.
Yes.
Yum. I love that.
Yes, I'm into that.
Oh, yeah. Limeade, lemonade. Mm-hmm. On the list.
We're on it. All right. What is your can't stop watching?
I've been watching The 4 and the 5. Do you know about them?
Okay. I've literally seen one thing where someone was talking about their obsession with this, and I have not been spending a lot of time on the internet. So I withheld.
I'll bring you along.
Actually, is that accurate? No, I've just simply been spending an egregious amount of time on the internet being inundated with sports-related content. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, what is The 4 and the 5?
Okay, The 4 and the 5. I will tell you about them. They are 4 best friends. They're 4 20-somethings making their way in New York in the 5 boroughs of New York City. So they're New York based, and they basically started a TikTok account together. So I think this is kind of also maybe trend spotting. Like I could see a lot of copycats maybe taking this format of 4 besties and sharing this account and telling the story of all of them on this account. I think they're super Sex and the City coded, and they use the Sex and the City music, and they're very much 4 girls in New York finding their way. I think it's just super fun. In the same way that any show like Sex and the City, everyone can relate to a different one of the women featured, like different personalities. They're like, oh, all of our different horoscopes, all of our different jobs. Like now that they're getting brand partnerships, they all go shopping and they're like, this bag fits my personality because of XYZ. And so it's just really fun because to me, it's putting the social back in social media. It's taking their real life friendship, talking about how they met, the things they do together, blah, 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 and then translating that to a shared channel. So I think it's really cute.
Yeah, I actually feel like these like group accounts and group partnership is kind of the next wave of social and like the social content that people are really connecting with. And there's so many elements to it. But the Sex and the City thing, it's just, I think every single woman our age wanted that, has thought about that, has lusted after that. And so I think that any like other content that gives you like little, I don't know, a little bit of a lean into that is so enticing. And I think a lot of us relate to those things, all the troubles along the way. Everyone, of course, automatically thinks about the relationship troubles, but just the life shit. You're always looking for something, a boyfriend, an apartment, or a job. Right. That reigns true. Like you're always kind of thinking of something, or, you know, your friend starts to go on a different life path than you. You're single and you're childless, and your friend all of a sudden within 6 months, you're like, oh, you've met a man, you're engaged, and now you're pregnant. Poof. Like, how does that change me? And I think there's so many like different elements to that we all can relate to. So it's been slightly on my radar to check out.
I think you would enjoy very much their content.
Will do. And then also I have to be aware of all the influencers that exist in New York so I can keep an eye out
because
to see them in the wild.
You guaranteed are rubbing shoulders with so many that you don't even know.
Oh, maybe I should like start tracking it, but I've definitely seen at least like 5 to 6 influencers in the wild here.
Yeah.
That I know of.
That you know of. And then how many other ones?
I mean, people are out here seeing me every day.
Obviously. There's that girl from that podcast. What can you not stop watching currently?
Okay. I have been so similar, actually.
Okay.
I cannot stop watching Sex and the City, but with Spanish subtitles.
Okay. What's that experience like?
Well, as we've talked about, we did a two episode journey about this, but we talked about our relationship with the Spanish language and what that's looked like for us. And yeah, I constantly am trying to work on my Spanish, practice my Spanish. So it's one of those things where obviously I've seen Sex and the City 1,000,001 times. And this time I'm watching it and I can justify it because I'm using the Spanish subtitles. But I've been making jokes because I don't know how often I'm going to need the vocabulary in which I'm learning from watching.
You never know.
You never know. So no, it's funny. It's actually really funny to it's a new bucket of vocabulary to expose myself to that's kind of fun and funny, and it makes it engaging in a different way to watch it. So I've been having fun with it.
I mean, any way that you can get your practice in, and it's definitely helpful to watch things that you already know too, so that you're so familiar with it. It's easier to absorb the language versus trying to follow a new story, nuances. You're like, oh, I know this front and back, and I can recite these lines basically. So pretty good way to get the language in.
Yeah, I think so too. So that's been quite funny. Okay, trend spotting. What have you been seeing out in the world?
This is something I've only seen online, but is that the world? We can ask ourselves. I have been seeing people highlight the new Marc Jacobs Beauty launch online, and it's fun. Basically, Marc Jacobs is bringing back this really loud, fun 2000s packaging, and I feel like it could be a trendsetter. I think this could be a start to maybe leaning more into maximalism and leaning away from where I currently see beauty trends as far as like packaging and marketing around beauty brands is really kind of minimalist, clean girl aesthetic. I see this as going really towards like whimsical, campy. The piece that I love the most is it's an eyeshadow that's in the shape of a star, and it looks like it's inflated, and it's chrome. It's chrome inflated star. Or there's blush sticks that have like little inflated chrome hearts on them. So almost, who's that artist that does those inflatable dogs? You know that one?
Oh, Jeff Koons? Is that his name?
It's very, yes. Actually, now, this is the first association, but it's very Jeff Koons looking, in my opinion. Really shiny and really inflated. So really
chrome
fun.
Is massive.
That's what you were saying with shoes. You were saying a lot of chrome sneakers. What other applications are you seeing with chrome?
So many chrome phone cases.
Okay, cute.
I got a new iPhone recently, and I started getting all these ads for iPhone cases, and I've seen these things that it's not like a full iPhone case. It's like a partial iPhone case that's kind of like a little, let's call it like a hat and a skirt, if you will.
What? Really?
It just basically clips onto the top of the phone, and then the bottom of the phone just like so it doesn't cover the whole aesthetic of the actual phone, but it gives you the protection should you drop it. And I saw these actually pretty cool one that was all like kind of chrome-esque. A lot of just, chrome jewelry, chrome furniture, chrome frame around a mirror.
Right. I've seen some cute chrome coffee cups that kind of like that.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that is definitely going to be a trend.
Yes, definitely. It's interesting that their beauty packaging, like taking what I've seen on the fashion and furniture side of things into that world. But I think you're right. I think that's going to really catch on. So
you heard it here, not first, but what are you trend spotting on the streets of NYC?
I think the continuation of comfortable but ugly footwear.
Fair. I mean,
and I'm not opposed. Exactly. I'm not opposed to a comfortable shoe, but what is too far?
At what cost?
Right. And recently I've been seeing Vibram feet shoes. And for anyone who doesn't know, I'm talking about those like weird shoes that you've probably seen someone wear that literally look like it's like a toe sock, but shoe edition. So it's like almost looks like, what is that material? Neoprene? Like a neoprene booty that you would have when you're scuba diving, but with all the toes cut out, and then the bottom has like a grippy material. So they're meant, my understanding is that those like feet shoes were this kind of thing that came about because these people had this theory that why do we need shoes? We shouldn't really need shoes. We're humans and we're meant to like walk on things, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you can feel so much like under your feet. And I've seen them styled with kind of the hot girl outfits, like the kind of like long oversized shorts, a cute tank, like an oversized bag, and then the Vibram feet shoes. So it's kind of like when Crocs came back, and I just was like, I will never get on board, and I have to live with that. But other people will get on board, and it is going to be a thing. So,
I think they're hideous. Catch me in those never. Also, to me, having all my toes in like a little like separated like that in basically a foot wetsuit, it just seems like really. Maybe they must be super comfortable because like why would you? There's no way that you're making that choice for aesthetics, right? Like they're so ugly.
I do think but hear this out. I've had a little bit of a theory on this that we're like we have the Margiela like goat shoes. I don't know what you call them.
They're called tabbies.
I see them. I say goat. I say
it looks like a goat foot.
So I'm like, if the Margiela tabbies were not a thing, would these have come back and be acceptable? It's almost like toes, separating toes, thinking about the toes, seeing the separation of toes. That's where we're at right now.
I mean, I think certain things can be so ugly that they're endearing or that they're appealing, or people just like, I mean, that's fashion. It's always like playing and it's a performance at the end of the day. I just, some things are just, I can't. I do not like them. But more power to you. If you love them and you feel comfortable and you feel stoked about how you styled them, like pop off.
Yeah. Confidence is the best accessory you can put on at the end of the day. So rock it out,
Preach.
queens.
Preach. Do you want to share a heartwarming moment this week?
Sure. Why not? I think that this will also be fun because it relates to our bigger conversation that we'll have today. But my heart has been warmed by the NBA Finals.
Let's go,
Knicks in 5. For anyone that hasn't heard, Knicks in 5. I would not call myself the biggest sports ball fan.
No.
However, I am a fan of camaraderie. I am a fan of coming together for a common cause, and the way that I have seen New York City come alive and bond and spend time together over the last few weeks during the NBA finals when all of the games were happening, and feeling the stoke and seeing it all just unfold and the potential, and hearing all the stories about the players and the journeys that they've been on is just, it's warmed my heart. People just care so much. I think in a world in which people feel more isolated than ever, in a society where we feel more fractured than ever, to have a moment that has brought people together that is unifying is really cool. And it's actually crazy. So the day that we're recording this is just a couple days after the final in which the Knicks won, and tomorrow is the official Knicks parade. So that's going to be crazy as well. It's just one of those things where I'm like, you can't slow down in this town. Like, they were just celebrating a few days ago and they're not done.
Yes. I mean, inspirational sports moments. Like, there's something, you can't beat it. It's absolutely electric. There's so many different stories between lifelong fans like Spike Lee to, the actual storylines of players, and just a city that's been diehard for a team for so long, and it's been kind of a drought for a really long time. So all of it is just really, really electric to watch play out. So very, very cute. And it's the first ticker tape parade. Did you see that?
I don't even know what that means.
I saw a breakdown on TikTok. I guess Wall Street, they used to use these things called ticker tape that were kind of receipts for whatever business they were doing. And that's what they would throw out of the window. So that's the origin. But obviously, maybe in the 70s or later, it changed to confetti, but it's still referenced that way. So I saw the mayor, Mr. Mondami, was saying, like, this is the first ticker tape parade that we're having in a really long time.
And I just didn't have the moment to be like, what is that?
What is that? Yeah, when I heard it at first, I was like, I have no idea what that is. But should be really, really electric.
Yes. Well, my heart is warmed, but I will not be going into Manhattan tomorrow to appreciate this parade. I will be staying clear from the hordes of people, but Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5. Absolutely electric. I love everything about it.
My heart
the
can
brand.
be warmed all the way over here in my solitude.
Yes. out in Brooklyn, you'll be peaceful. But
Yes.
I mean, everything about it, just, Oof, so good. I guess that should lead us into our topic. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Fabulous. Why don't you brief us on what we're gonna chat about?
All right. We have been thinking so much, the both of us, and thought it would be a really cool thing to get into on the pod today, which is sports in the modern era. There's so much to get into, but recently the NBA Finals has blown up the internet in a way that truly I don't think I've seen recently. In other instances in which I've lived in cities where football final happens or other major sporting events, just like what just recently happened was so intense and so prolific, like around. And I'm like, is it because it's New York and therefore 10 million people are celebrating and New York is just so on the forefront of the world? I'm not sure, but I don't know. There's a lot to talk about because I was mentioning a little bit when it relates to like why it warmed my heart recently, but we're in really complicated times in this country, in a fractured time, etc. And sports seems to be this unifying force and something that everyone can get behind. There's kind of a communal catharsis about it. Another thing that I've found so interesting that has been elevated by a few creators out there is that caring about sports, expressing emotion around sports is one of the few opportunities that men in our society are socially encouraged, socially allowed to have outbursts of emotion.
Right. Yeah. It's an important outlet because unfortunately, the patriarchy as it be and the toxic masculinity framework as it be, it's like a grown man crying on the street is pretty much unacceptable to us unless he's crying tears of joy because his team just won.
Yes, exactly. And even just the outbursts of like when they get frustrated, what would our society be without this? Like without these outlets, like we would be, how unwell would we be then?
Right. And like, of course, we believe that there should be more opportunity and more acceptance of sharing the emotion. But it does serve that important purpose. And I think it's interesting the way that we frame emotion. Tears of joy, we really celebrate that in both players and fans and stuff. And then I think we kind of cringe a little bit at tears of sadness. Something I watch a lot of sports, and something I always notice is at the end, they always cut to like the sad fan cam on the other end where, oh, this other team lost, and they like cut to like people being really sad in the crowd, or other players on the other team being really sad. And I think that's less encouraged. It's more like, oh, you're being a bad sport, or it's not as encouraged as, oh, tears of joy, how amazing, he just won, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot about Jason Kelce when he retired from football, and he cried for like 40 minutes straight through his retirement. I think because he had such a prolific career, and it was acceptable for a man to really show his emotion about this sport in other contexts is not as cool.
Yeah, but I think it is interesting that in sports across the board, any of the sports, it's very much, it is acceptable to care. It's acceptable for them to care a lot. And for that to be such a focus of it is all the conversations I think about the legacy of it. Like with Jalen Brunson, it's been really interesting to hear this story that they've captured around his father being on the coaching staff, and like the fact that he was a player, and this kind of legacy pass off. There was even, I can't remember which company, which it was, there was a brand ad in Times Square where basically there's two ad spots across the street from each other, and this brand bought both. And then the imagery was basically his dad passing the ball to him across the street on the other ad, and so much of that stuff. So I don't know, I find it interesting that regardless of tears of joy versus tears of sadness or defeat, that it's something that men are encouraged, and there's all this like thing around the caring of it, and that that's baked right in and totally part of it.
Right. Yeah. And where else in society do we get to be super fans, wearing the whole fit, like doing the whole thing, letting your emotions be tied to something greater than you? This bigger picture. It's very multifaceted in the way people feel about it.
I mean, the social code is really interesting if you start to think about it. The social code of being at a stadium, the fact that you can jump up out of your seat out of nowhere and have like an outburst of emotion. You can scream. It's loud in there. Societally, we're constantly caged in.
Right.
Like, be quiet. You know, you're on the phone call, lower your voice. You're at a restaurant, you need to take a phone call, you have to step outside. Okay, you're on the train, don't make eye contact with anyone. Okay, you're listening to music, put your headphones in. Like, it's always, we're kind of like turning internal, turning it down, being quiet, being mindful. And so I also think that there's something so important about these shared experiences of being in a space where it unleashes in front of you. And I don't know how I'm connecting this in my brain, but I am. It's almost like maybe that's why people are so frustrated about the fact that ticket prices are skyrocketing and that it's so inaccessible, because that experience should be something that everybody can access, to have that social opportunity to unleash that excitement, to unleash those emotions, and for that become this elitist thing. I'm just like, oh, like we don't need more things in our society where doors are closing for like the everyman.
100%. Yeah. And stratified and all of that. I mean, just like we spoke about a couple weeks ago with the music industry, like concerts, also something that doesn't break the bank, something that's accessible. And that's an important part of a healthy society, is that we can all participate or have the opportunity to participate because of, how magical these experiences are. And this Knicks run, I saw a lot of stuff around how much people were paying for tickets. It's outrageous. It's really outrageous.
Dare I say egregious?
It's egregious. It's wrong. At the end of the day, I think it's absolutely wrong. It's corporate greed at its finest. It's capitalism, final boss. And I mean, I guess that kind of got me down a rabbit hole of how these leagues are set up, particularly in the US. The NBA and the NFL, for all intents and purposes, are essentially socialist internally and highly capitalist externally. So a few examples of that are the NBA practices revenue sharing among all of their teams. So although the Knicks probably made most of the money for the league this year, smaller markets are sharing in that revenue to ensure that there's fairness, to ensure that these other teams don't go out of business. It's in the Knicks' best interest to make sure they have people to play, right? And to make sure they have a strong league. So that's kind of like the ethos.
Well, you want competition too, right? So if you just like have one piece that dominates, then
if you put everyone else out of business, there's no one to play. So it doesn't make sense. So that's a socialist idea, is that if everyone has something to play with, it helps everyone. So revenue sharing happens both in the NBA and the NFL. Salary caps and spending limits to ensure some sort of
Ironically,
fairness.
those caps are... It's funny to even call them a cap, because you're like, is that like, because their contracts could be tens of millions of dollars, right? For multi-year contracts.
The caps just keep going up and up, but the caps
they do exist.
The caps are relative to the revenue stream. So if they're bringing in a ton, the caps go up and salaries go up. Again, I mean, yeah, insane amounts, but there is this idea that the teams should be playing on an equal playing field, at least in the NBA and the NFL. I believe that the MLB is not in the practice of that, and that's a big problem for them. The draft as well, there's this system in place to ensure somewhat fair ability to acquire players or to give teams that are not performing as well the chance to level up, et cetera, et cetera. And then collective bargainings. The NBA and the Players Association are guaranteed the split of the basketball-related income between the owners and players. And if the league's profits are up, the players' salaries automatically scale up, and there's this collective power. So interestingly, these leagues understand that these values set them up in a way to thrive. I mean, institutionally, and yet externally, obviously, they're fine to charge you $9 for a hot dog to...
I mean,
at the minimum.
I think that's how much it costs at a street vendor, like in Central Park. I think it has to be
to
more
overcharge
there,
you for a hot dog, to gouge you on ticket prices, to take taxpayer dollars and help pay for their stadiums, to take tax breaks, because these stadiums are seen as public goods. So I think there's a lot of issues that I see with the way that they're not acting in good faith in a lot of ways, as far as making tickets, food, the experience accessible at all. Yeah. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. And it seems like across the board in our country, any sort of big gathering that's bringing together tens of thousands of people at a time, the tickets are so overpriced. So music festivals, sporting events, festivals, all that type of stuff, it's just gone up exponentially, I think, over the last 10 to 15 years. And has become totally inaccessible for like your average person to even attempt to incorporate that into their lives in a real way. And I find it to be crazy. And then all the pieces of it, the parking, the food vendors, the alcohol sales, all of the other things that you're also paying for to be able to attend those events, same thing. It's all just so expensive. So it's not just the face value of the ticket that you're purchasing. It's all full encompassing of what a night on the town to go to one of those events looks like. It's always befuzzled me, because you would think if you're one of 40,000 that it would cost less than a show that you go to that's one of 100. But unfortunately, not at all.
Yeah. And I get it, especially with like hot ticket items. I think there's so much demand for Knicks tickets in particular, because of how many celebrities and people are part of the
it's also a city of 10 million people. So even if, whatever 1% of the city is a Knicks fan, that's still a million people that might want to try to buy tickets. And the supply demand piece is quite intense. I mean, and you see it too in all of the imagery, right? They often have like watch parties outside of MSG, and the streets are shoulder to shoulder filled with people wanting to watch the game, and especially with the finals and stuff too. You're seeing people screen the game on a brick wall across the street from their building, and people filling every corner of the adjacent street that even can get a little corner of a view on it to watch it. And it just shows how much people want to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen even some players talk about how they wish that tickets were more accessible and affordable to people. I think we would all benefit as a society, in the same way that the NBA, NFL believe in some socialist ideas to make the league stronger. I think it makes the league stronger if people are able to participate more.
That's right. Well, it's been a very fun, interesting journey to see it along the way, and continues to give me something to think about in the world. I'm happy to see it happen. I'm happy to see
you're watching history.
I did. I watched history.
Who's your favorite Knicks super fan?
super fan?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like the person?
Like Spike Lee, or is it Timothy Chalamet, or is it Ben
certainly
Stiller?
not Timmy.
Timothy, is he making you cringe?
Definitely.
Is super fandom on a level like somewhat cringe?
That's not why I'm cringing at Timmy. But I mean, it has to be Spike Lee. He is just the OG
He's so
super
cute.
fan. He's adorable. Does the man own anything in his closet other than Knicks gear? And he lives in Fort Greene, which is really close to where I live.
Obsessed.
He had a parade on the streets after the game.
Obsessed.
Like paraded around, and he just seems so genuine, you know.
He's so genuine.
Yeah.
He's loved them forever. He bought his first tickets up in the nosebleeds in like the 70s. And as his career has gone on, he's like leveled up. He's like moved forward and forward and forward. And he doesn't get free tickets. He pays for his tickets, and he pays millions for his tickets so that he's not constrained to some of the rules or protocol
I've heard
of Celebrity
about that.
Row. He can roast the officials, and he can do what he wants because he's like, I buy these tickets, versus having to play nice, I think, with some of the free tickets that celebrities get.
Yeah. But on the super fandom, I mean, that takes us down a whole interesting other conversation that maybe we can have another day. But it's quite intense.
It is.
Yeah. It's like parasocial, but I don't know, like extra intense, where people wear the weight of other people's wins and losses on their shoulders. And I've never like really understood that fully. I've never felt that, taken that burden on, I guess.
Right. We should definitely get into this at another time, but I think it's also sometimes something you're born into. You know what I mean? People like
bred into,
yeah, born into
learned behavior.
Yeah,
for
things
sure.
that I've seen Buffalo's fans, like, you know how Buffalo's fans like jump on folding tables? That's like part of their like pregame tradition. So they'll take a baby.
Like pounce,
they'll jump
leapfrog?
off they'll jump off of a car or something high onto a folding table. It's very dangerous. It's very wrestle vibe. They jump onto the table, and the table like goes out from under them. So I've seen them take a baby, and they have a mini folding table, and they'll almost baptize the baby by gently making the baby break the table. Yeah, that's something you're born into. Like, you're born a Buffalo's fan.
Before you even know your name or how to wipe your butt, you're being inundated and indoctrinated into your
fandom.
Your fandom. That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, you need to send me vids of that. ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Well, yeah, we're curious for our audience what you think about sports in the modern era, if it allows you to express your emotions in fun and interesting ways, or if you have thoughts about what's happening with the costs of tickets of all sorts these days. We would love for you to share a little bit about your thoughts on all of that.
Yes, please share what you're thinking.
Yeah.
We'll jump into our last little section, our inspiration of the week. What are you inspired by this week, Paloma?
Yes, I am inspired by an influencer, fashionista, adorable girly named Vic Montanari. She is a influencer that I've followed for quite some time now, and have kind of followed her since she was kind of just starting to pop off through to now, where she's a pretty mega influencer and has very high profile sponsorships. And that's been a really interesting journey to follow. I'm just inspired by someone who to this day remains to be so genuine, and you can just see how much she appreciates it too. She originally started with like little outfit of the day, cutesy little videos of her trying on her outfit and maybe talking about some of the pieces that she was wearing. And then that just evolved into her getting more interesting, more unique pieces. Now she does it while she's traveling. Now she'll do a mix of other things. She just seems so, I don't know, I feel like Portuguese girlies in general like have a really unique sense of style. And so that's also been a lens into a different type of self-expression, really like bold, interesting, power clashing-esque, a lot of textures, a lot of oversized, not what I would see like as being traditionally sexy, not a lot of body hugging, not a lot of obsession with highlighting like big ass or big boobs or anything like that. And so I think that's also what I appreciate it. I find it to be very feminine, but like adult, mature woman feminine. And I think that's what's cool about it. And also her life is very
Aspirational.
Yes, aspirational wanderlust vibes. I'm like, oh, now you're on a boat with your gorgeous husband or fiance. I'm not sure if they're married yet. Oh, now you're in New York this week. Oh, now you're doing this dope photo shoot with Farm Rio and all of that. So I don't know. I just think she's had a cool career. And it's like fun and fresh. And so I just recommend taking a look at her stuff, following her. And Vic, I saw you were just in my city and you didn't say hi. So next time, hit me up.
Yeah, great reco. I'll have to do a deeper dive, but I mean, I've definitely seen a lot of her content and yeah, obsessed with her personal style, fun, loud, everything you said. A lot of pieces that look really comfortable too, which is super nice.
Definitely. So that's it for me on this week. What about you?
All right. My inspo of the week is, I would argue, a timeless reference. A mood board hates to see this guy coming. I think he's been on every mood board ever. If you're an art director or designer or anyone kind of in the visual world, you are very familiar with Slim Aarons. He's an American photographer. He started as a word photographer and he just decided to hard pivot and he wanted to photograph attractive people doing attractive things in attractive places, in his own words. So essentially, he charmed his way into elite society and was kind of jet setting the world with a lot of fabulous people. And he photographed them. People have referred to him as a curator of ambiance, really just showcasing leisure and style as an art form. His work is very editorial and lived in without being performative, or at least that's what it feels like. And yeah, he just really showcased how elegance existed in the wild. So stunning images. I think they're part of our collective reference point. I think they're a big part of American collective reference point as far as these images are just very iconic, beautiful stuff. Although he did photograph in winter, to me, he's a very much a summer reference because a lot of it is on the coast of Capri or Palm Springs. A lot of his work is around pools, around summertime. So I think he's top of mind for me in the summer.
Oh, interesting. I'm sure it's one of those things I don't recognize the name off the bat, but I guarantee if I saw some of his imagery, I would be like, oh, yes.
That's who that is. Yes,
right.
1,000%.
Well, and what a go-getter because, you're out here photographing war and you're like, I don't have to do that. I can do whatever I want and let me go seek that out. And what a thing to seek out. Basically getting to be privy to and end up being part of this kind of lustful world, right? So he was like, you are where, like, when you're a photographer, you're being put in the position of the instances in which you're shooting things.
I mean, to be a white man in the 1960s. Like, you can decide you want to do, you can just decide what you want to do and, like, go get it. You can, like, catch me if you can that shit up,
Truly. Well said. Still a good photographer, worthwhile again.
No, incredible work. Prolific.
Love. Well, I will definitely take a perusal to connect those dots for myself of things.
Honestly, a fire name too. Slim, fire. Slim Aarons? Yeah, fire. Good job, his parents, if that's his God-given name.
Very interesting. I wonder where that comes from. If anyone knows, let us know. Well, that's all the programming we have for you today, folks.
Take it easy, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Thanks. See you then.
Ciao.